Howdy partners. I decided to build this little glass vitrine here for my plants, because if I leave the plants here then the cats will just dig up all the seedlings. So I found this on the rubbish actually once, but it's been upstairs, but I thought yeah, I'd make a good little vitrine for the plants. And I was setting it up and I started to think, what would happen if you made a box out of glass with perfect mirrors on there, and in the middle there's a light bulb shining inside. Well, this is a box, it's an imaginary box almost, and the mirrors inside this box are absolutely perfect, and from that light bulb all the photons will be streaming out and bouncing around this box. And I was thinking to myself, if you left that on, the light bulb on, for 1,000,000 years, and then the photons would have had no chance of escaping because they'd be just whizzing round in this box forever. So what would happen after 1,000,000 years if you open the lid of the box? Would all the photons escape in a big flash of light? So these funny little questions are kind of how my brain works, and it's really good that you can now go on Google. So I googled in mirror box photon, and there's quite a lot of stuff about it, because even Einstein had an idea of making a mirror box and putting one photon in there to find out how long it took for the photon to decay. Now the problem is, in theory and reality is a lot different, because every time that photon hits the glass, because by definition no mirror can be 100% reflective, it will always be 99.99999 reflective, but that millionth of a percent, there will always be energy loss, as when the photon hits the glass it creates a little bit of heat and that dissipates, so eventually the energy in the photon is lost by banging against the glass. Another thing you've got to remember with these photons in the mirror box, when I said about looking at it for 1,000,000 years, I'm not sure if time actually exists for photons. 1,000,000 years or a nanosecond is the same for a photon, because it's not measuring time, it's just we who are measuring the time. So there you get into another whole can of worms with Heisenberg principle, which means that if I'm not the one to open the box and look inside, then I am having an effect on the experiment. But I think it's covered in a thing called Schrodinger's cat as well. It's about a cat in a box. So lots of things about photons in boxes, cats in boxes. And I made the box to stop the cats getting in. So I read up a bit more about photons and the eye, and the eye is unbelievably sensitive. If you look at the sun now, there's a stream of untold billions of photons streaming out from the sun, and some of them enter your eye. But your eye is so well made and sensitive that it can perceive light just from 90 photons hitting the retina. And how it works is the photon hits the retina, and the molecules in the rods in your eyes, they absorb that energy from the photon, and the photon disappears. But energy cannot be created or destroyed, so it's just transformed, and through chemical, electrical reactions in your eye, that packet of energy from the photon makes the proteins in your eye, makes them change a little bit, and that changes the plus and minus of the cell, which creates like a little battery. It creates a spark that goes up to your brain, and your brain perceives that then as light. And I always find it amazing that light from a galaxy or from the sun has travelled billions of miles through space, and eventually that photon gets absorbed by your eye, and the energy from that photon does something in your eye, because energy can't be destroyed or created, it just changes. Also interesting to think about barriers between you and the outside world. That's just an abstract idea, the idea of you. Looking at that sun, my eyes absorbing the energy, changes happen in my eye, things happen in my brain. It's all one system, and it's absolutely artificial to put yourself out of the system and watch it. So, just building a little glass vitrine can lead you on to wonders. Have a great day.